Welcome back to the Endo Circle. How is everyone? Oh my goodness, I am a hot mess. We'll go briefly into that. It's really exhausting in the sense of protecting my energy because, as y'all know, we don't, there's things there that are triggers. That I've been walking through some things that I've been trying to be really in tune with myself, my body, where I'm at with it, be there for them, but yet protect myself in the same sense. So I'm really proud of myself though, because things like this in the past, before I've done all the work that I continue to do on the daily for myself, this would have put me in bed for at least a week with pain. And I would have been, it would have affected me deeply. And so I'm really proud of that. But tonight we are discussing speak it, believe it, live it. Becoming what you believe. Now, I have not always had a positive mind, okay, when it comes to this disease, endometriosis. I haven't. And it didn't really click or start to happen. And in hindsight, y'all, I was moving and creating space in my world and opening myself up before even realizing it, honestly. So in hindsight, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to look back on. During it, I really didn't know what I was doing. It was happening organically. Why? Because I surrendered, okay? I surrendered. I was doom and gloom for so long. Rightfully so, right? Because I was struggling, I was suffering, and nobody seemed to care in the healthcare industry. The public didn't understand, and I didn't have an outlet, if you will. And so yes, I was doom and gloom, and I thought my life would always be this way, and poor me, and I was pissed, I was angry, but then I surrendered. I laid it down, and I accepted it. I accepted that this was my life. I was like, okay, now what? There's something powerful about accepting it, And you're like, okay, this is it. Now, what can I do from here? So that's where I found hope whenever I accepted it. I accepted that this is my life, and I changed my mindset then. Okay, just because I accepted it doesn't mean that I was still doom and gloom and I just was going to continue fueling the negative. I was tired of that. I needed a way out. I demanded a way out. I was like, this is not happening anymore. I reached a point of wanting to take my own life. Not okay. Not okay for any soul to feel like the only way out is to take their life. It's not okay. So I knew I had to do something, so I accepted it, and then I started to change my mindset to not thinking of, I have to find a way to be pain-free. That my life has to be zero pain. Perfect, if you will. I removed that expectation, okay, if you want to call it that. I removed that, and I started changing my mindset as to how do I better my life, the quality. I started reaching and choosing to have a mindset of how do I create daily a better life, a better quality of life. And that's something that we've talked about a lot on here. So that daily, how do I create a better quality of life with the foods you eat? These are things that we can control, right? I'm not talking about anything else. I'm talking about the things that we can control in efforts to get a better quality of life. Okay, so food. Now, everyone knows, and if you don't know, if you're new here, if you're new to Endo, there is like an Endo diet, if you will. There are some foods a lot of foods, a long list of things to stay away from that are triggering. But you have to find what's your trigger food, okay? Everyone's different, so that's crucial. Environment. Take a look around. Are you in an abusive relationship? Are you in a very stressful environment, work or home life? Things like that. And positive self-talk. Guys, our bodies, our cells, they are listening. Everything that we say, on the good days and on the bad days. We have to have that positive self-talk and create it into daily habits. You have to show up every day. And I'm not saying that you can't be human and you can't have a day where you're just like, oh, hell no, I can't do it today. Yes, that's okay. Give yourself that time. You need it. It's because you need rest. I've been having those moments lately, and that's part of environment, right? You have to choose and create your environment to fuel the habits that you're creating. Because I've been positive, yes, like so positive, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's mentally affecting me. Those triggers are getting me. And my environment that I've created and the people that I choose to be around, my husband is this example. He is there to help me out of it, to talk me out of it, to support me, to be that voice that I normally am for myself. But if you're in an environment that is feeling negative and doom and gloom, it's not helping anybody. I also then started to make choices of choosing happiness. Even in the darkest, hardest times, I was seeking beauty from the ashes. Okay? And sometimes that is so extremely hard to do, but it's a practice. It's a daily practice. And the more that you do it, the more that you're doing this and the more that you're creating these daily habits, the easier it gets. The more your eyes are open to the beauty. Okay? There's been so many times where I am just taken back by a situation, but the moment I'm like, but, it's a blessing in disguise, and here's why. I'm free of it. And my whole attitude changes. So yes, we want to always be seeking the beauty from the ashes, okay? Because let me say this. A lot of people here, I would hope everyone, but a lot of people here are very faithful, right? They are believers. But whenever we start to question and doubt us, our healing, the power that's within us, that is not seeking the beauty from the ashes, right? That is not opening ourselves up to receive that favor. Because it's there for the taking. We have to stand firm on it. We have to believe it every single day. Even in the darkest moments, we have to be seeking the light. Now, another thing that is so important is the state of mind that we are in, right? I like to stay, and I started doing this a while back, y'all, and it has really transformed me. All of this has, honestly, but I choose to live in a state of mind that right now is the only thing that's real. I'll repeat that. Right now, this moment, me sitting here with you, this is the only thing that's real. The past, things that hurt you, trauma, anything in the past, it's gone. It's gone. It no longer exists. It's gone. And that is where depression comes from. Depression is from living in the past, reliving the past, instead of processing it, feeling it, healing from it, and releasing it. So if we have to stay focused, this moment is the only moment that's real. When we allow our minds to go into the future and we start anticipating, that's where the anxiety is coming from. It hasn't happened yet. This moment is the only moment that is real. We are not promised our next breath. We're not. We are not promised our next breath. Today is a gift. This moment is the only moment that's real. Release yourself from the depression of carrying the past. Release it. And heal yourself from anxiety by living in the present and not trying to forecast the future or anticipate it. Stand firm in your faith and that you know where you're going because you're connected. You're connecting daily to that deep pool soul within, that pool within that tells you what it is you need to be doing, where it is that you need to be showing up. Even if you don't feel like nobody listens or nobody cares or it's never going to reach mountaintops, it doesn't matter, because if you're following that soul deep pool within, it's going to happen on whatever level it's meant to happen. In 2014, I remember 2014 is when I hit my rock bottom from my debilitating, consistently crushing pain and depression from endometriosis, and I had recently started Beachbody, and I was turning everything around, implementing all of this. Actually, not all at once. It organically started anyway. But I will never forget. For some reason, this has never left me, and I was reminded of it today, and I wanted to share it. But we were in a chat together. She reached out to me, and she was in a really dark place, and she was just really sad. She was really sad. She was not doing well. She also learned that her friend had cancer, and she, I believe she was saying in the sense of, basically, if only endo was like cancer, in the sense of we would have an answer, whether death or cure, instead of us just trying to figure this all out our own. But I remember speaking to her and telling her, you have to change your mindset. What if it was cancer? What if you do have cancer? Or what if this does end up, taking your life or something like that? Like, erase all of that and focus on how is it that you want to leave your mark in this world. And when I told her that, I was just like, wow, yeah. And it has stuck with me. Like, how do I want to leave my mark in this world? Do I want to stay stuck in the doom and gloom and feeling the negative and the repetitiveness of surgeries and not seeking what it is I need? What it is that's going to fuel me to get to greater things. So always be mindful of how it is you're interacting with people, how you're leaving your mark in the world, how people are going to remember you. Were you filled with compassion and positiveness and light, or the other? I started shifting my mindset also to the fact that life, it is an illusion. This is not our final destination. It's not. And I feel as though that I know actually that we are meant for greater things, but we have to be equipped first. And so many people, including myself, go through cycles, vicious cycles, until we seek the lesson, the growth, or seek the lesson in order to grow. Right? We have to break this cycle. And that's what that's what I have been trying to do ever since 2014. I wasn't knowledgeable enough I was not in this mindset back then. I really did think I was going to have surgery every year. And I thought that was going to be the rest of my life. And when I did shift my mindset to how can I live a more or a better quality of life and not pain-free, that was great for the beginning of my journey. But now I've stepped up my game. How can I be pain-free? Because it's possible. I'm living it. And I haven't had pain, y'all. I'm doing so amazing. And it's eye-opening, and wow, there's just so much to be said for what I'm speaking on, for what Dr. Orbach is speaking on, and yeah, for opening ourselves up to receive it, and to stand in faith in that, and to believe that, You know, God doesn't want us to suffer, you know, and we can be healed. And if we truly believe that and we truly implement everything that comes with it, change is going to happen. But it's about believing. You have to believe and you have to commit. It doesn't happen overnight. 2014 is when I hit rock bottom, and here I am, almost 2020, and it's taken me this long. I've lost every reproductive organ in 5 surgeries. But I'm walking something amazing right now, and it's just, I don't know, it's life-changing. It really is. It's life-changing. And the more I dig and I find these doctors that are standing and have research of us actually changing, like, you know, our physiology by doing certain things, by, you know, triggering, it's just amazing. If you haven't checked out the last post on the Endo channel, that Dr. Joe, I can't remember his last name. Guys, start following him. It's mind-blowing. Open your mind, okay? Open your mind and your heart to new things. Get out of that cycle of you have to be on Lupron or you have to be on a birth control and then you have to have another surgery and then it's going to grow back and it's never going to end. Stop speaking that over your life and start demanding the life you deserve by implementing these new things. I'm not saying that the medical community isn't helpful or a tool for you to be healed, because it is. If you go to the right doctor and y'all talk about everything, that's my problem. They don't talk about everything. They don't seek the root issue. They just want to cut you. They just want to do surgery and take out the lesions. I get it. That's helping, yes, but not really. Because it's going to grow back. Why? Because nobody is seeking the root issue. What's causing it to come back? What's triggering it? What's firing all of our physiology and our cells and our DNA to create it? Our bodies are incredible beings, and we have to connect to them, and we have to demand it. In Jesus' name. I mean, dang it. I mean, demand it. Live it. Stand firm on it every single day. And not every single day is going to be easy. But that's whenever you fall back on your environment, your support system, the Endo Circle, your husband, your friends. You have to create that environment because we need it. Everybody does. There is so much hope. That's right, Joy. Absolutely. Guys, there is hope. There is hope. Speak it, believe it, live it. I came up with that a long time ago because I started noticing what I was doing. I was like, I'm speaking this over my life, and I believe it. And that's what I kept telling y'all earlier. You have to believe it. You can't just, and then, you know, let all the negative come in too. And then, I kind of believe that too. No, get off the fence. Do you want to fuel the negative and just continue to see what happens because you know what's going to happen if you continue fueling the negative? Or do you want to shake things up and do the opposite and believe that it is possible to receive healing, relief from something as simple as a diet change, right? Removing something and putting something else healthy in there, that's not going to cause more pain. Your mindset, believe that you can speak over yourself every day that I love you, you mean so much to me, I'm proud of you, you are going to be okay. You know, speak that. You know, when you're in the midst of pain and you're just like, OMFG, take a moment and hold yourself. Remember those deep breaths that we talked about a long time ago on those lives? Connect with your heart. Feel it. And tell yourself it's going to be okay. You're not alone. is so important. Our bodies, they're listening. We have to take care of them. Our world is not set up for that right now, and you have to understand that. You have to create it. The convenience of fast food and just XYZ, it's just outrageous, and I get it. But it's also a choice. Consciously choose you every single day. And I'm so excited for so many different reasons and things, and I don't know, some days it's really hard. It's really hard to show up. It's really hard, but every time I do, I just feel at peace, and I just know that I'm obeying. So here I am. So endless love and respect to every single one of you. Always know, please, whatever season you're currently rocking right now, you've always been equipped. Always. Speak it, believe it, live it.